Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. As you can see, it's that time month again where we have our favourite art supplies of the month. It's ScrawlrBox. So yeah, let's open it up and see what's inside. Oh, okay. Got some for. Well, we had a paintbrush, which is snapped, I think. Like, that's the first thing I see here is a Royal Talent paintbrush. No, Van Gogh, Royal Talent. I'm not sure, but oh, never had something break on me before, so that's interesting. Let's just move this off to the side. Let's hope though that it's something cheap, and if it's just the one paintbrush that's broken, I won't be too fussed. But let's look at our features after the month to start with. So we got this cool little illustration, looks like gouache, I think, because it's not as blended in. It's by an artist called Riso-chan. There you go. That's all her information, or their information, not sure. It's really cool, primary colours, so I'm not sure what we're going to be working with. So along with that, we also have our paper, which is watercolour. This is cold pressed watercolour paper, so that's going to be fun. Not very thick though, so interesting to know what's in this. And so one of the first things we saw actually was the pencil and rubber. So this is a Coom rubber, just a regular rubber, and a regular pencil by the brand Lyra. But this is very thick and squared, so I think this is a palette maybe, I'm not sure. Let's open it up. So get rid of our card, we don't want to look at that. Oh, I'm excited. I knew it was gouache. I can tell by the illustration. So yeah, before I get too excited, here's our sticker. It's very nice. I really like this. I like the colours of this actually. I really like all stickers that it provides. We've got a little sweet to go with it. And our main thing here is this gouache set. Yes. So this is a gouache set by Aquafine, which is still around in no tried gouache. So I'm curious to know what it's like, because I'm pretty sure these are like student grade, I'm not sure. So in it we get 6 tubes. So it looks like you get white, portrait pink, yellow, crimson, cobalt blue, and ivory black. Okay, these are cool. So get 6 tubes. Often with sets you probably get these 5 colours, because colour theory says that you can make any colour with these. But it's nice that you get this colour, portrait pink, which is like which is a skin tone colour. I don't think I have a gouache colour close to this. I use Windsor&Newton gouache, so it'd be nice to add to my collection. Am I missing half a brush? I don't know where the other half is. I should have a brush, I think. I don't know, is it in? I don't know. Okay, this is not the biggest deal in the world, but that's a bit annoying. So our gouache, we get our 6 colours. Is it focusing? The deal around it, Aquafine gouache. I'm going to assume these are water-based because they're called Aquafine. So these retail for £3.25 each, but because this is a special edition ScrawlrBox set, probably a little bit less. We got our brush, or we should be getting a brush, which is by Royal Talent Van Gogh. It's a really nice brush actually. Then got our pencil, which is a freebie, which is nice. So there's our rubber and our watercolour paper, and our theme is face of emotion. Hey guys, it's a couple days later since the last clip you saw. It's been about 2 days. I've been busy with university and work. It's Friday night. I'm finally got some time for myself. I'm going to play with some art supplies. And the first thing I want to say, I did a goof. So, you know, when I got this out, I was like, oh no, it's broken. I don't know if this is still snapped. Like, this probably is snapped, this area here. However, I didn't realise that the brush was in the barrel itself, and it flips around and becomes the brush. How amazing is that? Like, I'm just going to check now to make sure. No, it doesn't say anything about it in the actual thing itself, but I had learnt this from contacting ScrawlrBox. So like, oh yeah, sorry about that. It's actually, the brush is actually in there. I was like, oh my god. So I'm really happy that brush is actually here. And I like it even more now that it's travel size. It'll go perfectly in my pencil case with my Vivian watercolour sheets that we got a couple months ago. And yeah, I just really, really love it. So, got that. Our pencil is actually a freebie, as we found out. So that's going to be interesting to play it with. And our rubber. And as well, we've got our colours. So let's do some swatching. I think I'm going to swatch out the colour names first. So at the same time as well, I'm going to do a little colour test to see what layers over the pencil really well. And while we're on the topic of pencils, let's just scribble. Yeah, they blend, whatever. And does it erase? Yes, it does. So the pencil and rubber are fine. But let's swatch some colours. So first off, yeah, it layers on it because it's black. Black will obviously layer on a lead colour. Oh, this is very, this is smooth. It feels like ink almost. Also, I really, you know how before I was saying, oh, this brush will be really cool. Yeah, I'm not really liking it that much just because I literally used it 2 seconds, but I can just like kind of feel it nudging out. I put pressure on, but I'm going to work with it. I'm going to try and do as much as I can with this brush. I might have to change up at some point. But yeah, that feels nice. Feels kind of like ink, but like very stubborn ink, so it won't move around, but it is nice. These are definitely more student grade than anything, but student grade is still good. It's not necessarily bad. Let's try the blue. So it doesn't, is that opaque enough to layer on? Yes, you can layer it on top of that as well. It gets very gooey. Just going to put this brush aside. Not use it again. Thanks, ScrawlrBox. I was going to be upset if I didn't get to use this brush, but when I found out I actually could, I was really happy, but now I'm upset again because I really can't use it. It's a shit brush. So let's just put you... God. I don't like this just because the hair's fray. No. When you try and put it in, the hair's just fray around. Let's just put you there and grab a regular brush. So we're not using that brush anymore. Yep. I'm going to use it also really cheap brush. Do I not have a decent brush? Like, these are just fraying. I don't like it. You know what? We'll use an acrylic brush because why not? I'm gonna find a good brush to use afterwards, but this is just for swatching. And this blue, I didn't really like it. Well, yeah, it works. Okay, it works. You have to use it more like watercolor, the blue. Like, you can't really lay it on thickly. But if you use like watercolor, I guess, yeah, it does work. Okay. Let's try the crimson color, shall we? Oh, first test. That does lay it on, but not as 2 layers, and it's quite opaque. Yeah, this one's acting like ink as well, so I have to come with this from the perspective of watercolor in mind and not acrylic in mind, because gouache is like the baby of watercolor and acrylic. However, I need to just stick to the watercolor side, not really try to work with it thick, but use it diluted. Yellow. Now, obviously, that That's pretty impressive. That is covered up quite well. Okay. I need to save some space actually on my swatch sheet, otherwise I won't be able to. Yeah, that's fine. I want to try and practice blending and mixing some colour tones. Let's try our pink. Yeah. Ooh. So this is a dusty pink, isn't it? Or portrait pink as it's called. So yeah, that's nice. And finally, white, it's just in itself, just white. White gouache is always nice because it's always opaque. Okay, let's try and play with some colours and try and blend them. Or not blend, mix them together, see if we can get some lighter shades. So let's create a lighter shade of white. Lighter skin tone. That's with white. What happens if we mix it with yellow? So we use yellow as the base. Ooh, the yellow's really strong actually. I feel like I'm oil painting right now because I only do skin tones where I'm oil painting because skin is so much easier to blend with oils than any other medium. So yeah, that creates a darker tone, which you expect. Let's just try it with a blue undertone, a blue base. Okay, that's a nice shade color for the natural skin tone. Okay, I feel like red though. Red is what you go for when you use a base. So crimson. This is Art Fury all over again. I need some more. No, I like that. Okay, I like the warmer tone. I prefer the warmer tone over the cooler tone. I'll probably use. Oh, okay. And then, do you use black? Is that a thing that people use? I don't think you can really use black, can you? Like, it's just like the opposite doing the white. It's just. No, black does not work at all. Why would I think black would work at all? That just makes a very muddy colour. Very ashy. But if you use that ashy colour though and then use a skin tone, that's better. But that's kind of resembles like the blue tone almost. Okay, so if you're wondering why am I playing a lot with skin tones, because our actual prompt is facial emotion, and so I'm going to try and find skin tones are one of those things that is so important to an artist but also so hard to understand, because what you think your skin tone is completely different to what it actually will be. So guys, this is the fish illustration. What do you think? I really enjoyed this. Like, it looked crazy and looked chaotic for so long, and I nearly got so close to giving up. But I knew that when adding the highlights and then the lining and whatever, all that shabam, I knew that it would come together, and I'm really proud of myself for this. So this is definitely something I'm not comfortable with. This is more impressionistic, stylized, abstract work, which I don't do. This is like GCSE fine art or just like A-level fine art, which I don't do. But I think it was a really good challenge, and I think the actual theme was this card. So the theme of Face of Emotions, I feel like this really sums it up quite well, because like often people depict colours as emotions, like red is angry, blue is calm, purple whatever, and I think this literally depicts what a human person might be feeling at one time. So many mixed emotions and etc. I don't want to get too deep into it because it's not that deep. It's just a little illustration. I had a lot of fun trying to play with it. I think my biggest struggle was blending colours that I didn't have together. So you can see here, like, this is all one mismatch of colour. That's where I was really following the illustration, like the photo reference. But after I realised I didn't have certain colours, I kind of just did my own thing afterwards. So that's why it's very blocky here, and then not really blended, but then after that I just kind of just like, you know what, just gonna let the paint take control. I just went quite freely with it. The hair as well, that was a mess to start with. I didn't know how I was going to do it. I thought I was going to go for a darker route, but I really like the sunburst colour that I've got on here. Ironically, I can't find a tube of paint. I really didn't use the skin tone that much. I used it to darken up the yellow orange. But besides that, I didn't really use it that much for a portrait illustration. So that's quite crazy. So, sorry ScrawlrBox, it's not that I didn't like the colour. I do like the colour, it's just I didn't use it in my concept. Overall, I know I say this about every month, but I really like this month, and it's one of the best ones that we've had. I think that just shows how great ScrawlrBox is in general, because even someone who thinks they know a lot about art, this was really pushing me. Just have fun with it, because if you're not having fun, what's the point in doing it then? But yeah, overall, I really enjoyed this month's box, and I can't wait for next month's. I always love playing with these supplies, and I definitely think these would go in my arsenal as well. I used the brush the entire time. Are you proud of me? I didn't get too angry at it. Had to keep it taped up though, otherwise it would just fall apart. But yeah, and one final thing, the pencil was so useful this time round. So as you can see, is that in focus? I really used the pencil around the eyes, around the lips, like just basically as an outline, but softer, because graphic you can blend it out. I'm rambling, I need to get this video edited because I want to have it posted for tomorrow. But as I said, I really enjoyed this box, and ScrawlrBox, keep it up because you never cease to impress me. Until next time guys, keep on being creative and have fun.